Hi, this is Eli Brooke, and welcome to another Productive Style Creative Tuesday video. Today we're going to be drawing a simple vine wreath with lots of pretty purple flowers. To start off, I'm going to be doing just an outline in very faint pencil of a circle. That way I can make sure my wreath stays round. I'm going to be using purple to just outline the initial set of flowers. These are like little violets, and I'm just doing a medium texture watercolor paint. I'm actually using Watercolor, which is a thicker Japanese medium. I'll link all of the supplies down below so you can check those out. And I'm just drawing a variety of these cute little violet flowers. So you want to do pointy ends on them and kind of a medium thickness of the watercolor paint, so you can kind of blend the leaves as you go. And I like to blot these off so I can do a couple different layers of color on these. Violets are a rich purple, and you want to make sure that there's darkness in some of the edges of the leaves where you would expect a shadow to be. So after I blot, I just layer on another layer of thick watercolor paint. And I'm going to be continuing these around the side. This is going to be sort of that pretty flower pattern like you might see on a bridal shower invitation or wedding invitation, where the flowers are all kind of clumped on one side, and then you've got a nice little bit of vines around the outside. I'm also adding in some just kind of generic flowers in this lighter purple shade, and then highlighting them in a little bit of that violet color just to make the leaves pop and appear to be 3D. One of the techniques you can use is wash on the color in a solid lighter color and then add in the purple wherever you might expect a shadow to be. Also going to do some pink here. Apologize for the camera. It keeps zooming in and out every time I move my arm. I've got to work on my camera settings in future videos. I didn't realize I did that. But these I'm kind of adding in sort of a dahlia look with the kind of that plumish pinky purple. And then just some simple little leaves to accent. Again, I like to use paper towels a lot when I'm watercoloring, and it lets you kind of blot off the color. And I wanted to make these sort of a bluish color so they go with those cooler purple shades. And I'm just outlining the leaves as I go. And going to add some variety of colors of leaves. So this is more of a true leaf green. You can kind of blend these and add whatever you would like here. I'm going to use a fine liner brush to start to make that vine, and I'll link a great set of beginner liner brushes. These are kind of the painting must-have if you're doing a lot of vines, nature, tree branches, anything like that. With the liner brushes, you want to super thin diluted paint. So add lots and lots of water to your color on the palette before you drag it across the page. And I'm going to continue to kind of build out some flowery, leafy shapes with a kind of a medium to small little round brush. This is in a set that I found off Amazon. They're super affordable. I'll link those down below as well. But just going to make some little leaves off the vine. So what we're going to do as we go around this is just make lots of these leaves kind of intertwine like the vines are going on top of each other. So you want a variety of shapes. So I'm doing some that are kind of that small pointy leaf, and then some longer ones that might go with that more of a green color, less blue tone. And as the paint dries on the other leaves near our flowers, I'm adding in highlights and shadows. Watercolor is all about layering the paint on the page. And so you can layer blues and greens, you can layer a thinner, more watered down color on top of it, with a thicker color on top. The key is whenever you're layering, wet goes on top of dry, dry goes on top of wet. So what I like to do is I like to do the wetter, thinner colors first, and then let those dry completely or close to completely, and layer on a thicker paint with a little more intensity to it. So just doing some small little vines off of the main vine here. Hope you're having a great day today. I hope everything is going well. I'm super excited here because the weather is starting to look nicer. We're finally having some sunny days, and I'm really excited to see summer here finally. It's been an unseasonably cold spring, so it's really nice to get some sunshine. So leave a comment and let me know what you're excited about today, what makes your day good. Kind of feels good to share some gratitude and happiness with each other. So leave a comment and let me know what you're excited about today. So continuing on as to make out the vines and adding some of those vines in between the flowers here too. You want to make sure the flowers are not just floating and that they're connected. So adding a variety of thicknesses of vines and the colors that you have all around makes that look more cohesive and like everything is just put together. So you'll notice one of the things missing here are the center of the flowers, which we'll be adding here in just a minute. But first I'm going to be darkening some of those dahlias to layer on color, right? So it's with watercolor flowers, it's always good to have at least a couple shades, and sometimes 3. So on these paler purple flowers, I'm outlining and making some lines on these with a really dry, darker violet shade. And this, you can see, kind of makes them 3D, makes them pop out of the page, and that's the goal here. So I'm just going to continue to work on details through the rest of this painting, and just, kind of adding in little leaf shapes, adding in shading on the existing leaves, filling in some vines, connecting things. Just take a look at your painting and look at and decide where you want it to go. The great thing about artwork is it can be yours, and you choose the colors, you choose the shapes, you choose the types of flowers, and just really, if you want to take this this idea and run with it, make it your own. This little fan I'm using here is great to dry the page. Like I've said before, I'm an impatient watercolorer, so I like it to dry very quickly, and that's a great help if you want to quickly dry parts of your page. It doesn't get it completely dry, but dry enough that you can layer. All right, now we're going to add the yellow centers of these flowers. The good thing about Gonzai versus kind of that traditional cake watercolor is that you can layer on top, and they have whites. You can also use, the tubed watercolors. There's a variety of different ways you can get, layers of lighter color on top. But the most important thing is if you're layering lighter colors on top, first, make sure the paint is opaque. And then second, make sure the layer underneath is completely dry. Otherwise, you get purple and yellow mixed, and you get a nice brown shade from that. So that was it for this simple watercolor wreath. I hope you liked this and take the time to subscribe. There will be lots more videos coming soon, including some fun metallic vines next week. Thanks so much. Bye.